Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Andrea Colton and Quinton Coleman. The two of you have been together for 4 years, engaged for 1.5. You've got a wedding date set. You gave me your marriage license with permission to tear it up should I find that your union is ill-advised. You have some concerns and consternation, so you've come to me to get my opinion. You filled out my compatibility test. Now I just have to find out what's going on. So, Ms. Colton, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me why you love him, but you're not sure you want to marry him?
The reason why I love Quinton because he's a caring person, he's loving, and that's okay. Why don't you start? Well, so why are you here? Good guy, nice looking. How come we're not halfway down the aisle already? Because of cheating and security.
Who's cheating? Him or you?
Both.
Now I don't know who to yell at. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how you two came to be together, a little bit about your background, so I can get an idea of what kind of lives I'm trying to combine here.
Me and Quinton met 4 years ago through one of my family members. And we started off as friends, and then later on made a relationship. We, got into a relationship, and then.
But I understand that prior to all of this, you've had a very rocky past in your relationships. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your romantic history?
Like before Quinton, I was in a previous relationship where things weren't always good. I mean, I had been through a lot, like as far as abuse and name calling, and so I was like a little overweight at the time, and so I lost weight, left the relationship alone, and moved on.
Well, good for you, because that's not always an easy thing to do. That isn't an always easy thing to do. Mr. Coleman, where do you see, I take it what she said so far is accurate with respect to the way you met, correct?
Yeah.
What concerns do you have about this relationship?
Well, I just hope that we'll be able to work through things, minor problems that come up between us. Won't let minor things become such big arguments between us. And just work through things and be happy together. I just like for when we're happy and together, because there's really nothing wrong with us. It just seems like small things get in the way.
I saw a few big things. I don't know. I understand. Why don't you tell me about the time the couch got lit on fire? That to me is a big thing.
Okay, me and Quinton was supposed to be watching one of our sons, and he wasn't there when I made it to drop my son off, so he said drop him off at his mama's house. But I didn't want to do that, and so I was mad, and we was arguing, and so I went in, put lighter fluid everywhere. I put lighter fluid everywhere in the house, and so I got a little scared, so I decided to just bring the couch cushions outside and set it afire.
Mr. Coleman?
Yeah.
Did all that, I take it that happened, because nobody would make that up and tell that on themselves if it wasn't true, because it's absolutely a bizarre and ridiculous thing to do.
Yeah, she had broken my house before at that time. She broke out the windows. It was a rough time.
I gotta say, Mr. Coleman,
Yeah.
she does a lot of stuff. Aren't you a little scared of her? I mean, she lights stuff on fire. I mean, there's certain things that we're gonna go through, but a person who can't. Now, if you were sleeping with with a sister in the house, I could see her, I can't see it, but I could grok it a little bit. But she got mad about where you were gonna drop off the son to the extent she was gonna light the whole house on fire. Doesn't that concern you?
Yes, it concerns me, but I mean, honestly, it's something that she's been working on since then. I mean, I'd be beating her if I said she hadn't been working on it. It's something she's working on. It concerns me, but it's something that I see will get past. I can live with.
What was the problem with you not wanting to drop his son off someplace else? Did you have problems with where he was going to go?
I feel like he was somewhere where he had no business.
Oh, so you think he was cheating?
Yes.
So it wasn't really about dropping the kid off. It was about why he couldn't take care of him.
Yeah, why he wasn't there when he's supposed
thing.
to be there, yeah.
Have you ever caught him cheating on you?
I done found text messages and other things like that. I mean, but never physically.
Yeah. What were the worst text messages you saw?
Can I come chill? And
Can I come chill?
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
came.
Is that the time you busted out all the windows with the stick? Was that the message that made you bust out all the windows with the stick?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, to be completely, I mean, we were still together, but it was technically during like a breakup period. Really, like it was a period.
You were on a break.
It was,
We was on a break, but we wasn't on a
still
break.
like together. We was staying separate.
I don't understand this break business. Somebody needs to get me a
I
rule
give you
book
some
and
clarity,
figure
yeah.
out what it means to be on a break. What does it mean to be on a break?
I mean, we had separated and we were staying in separate houses. And so one night I came over to just to come over and be with him or whatever like that. And I can't remember why.
You went over there to have sex, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
help me out, because I don't understand.
and I don't know how the story came up, but he had started acting funny and stuff, like towards me. And we was arguing about another female. And he was like, I ain't been texting her and all this and all that. So then he opened up his phone and I see that text message about that female. And so now I'm mad. And so
We got a stick and broke the windows out.
I would just go ballistic and just bust out all the windows. And
Aren't you at all frightened?
Nah. I think she was probably, well, to give you more background on it, during the break thing came in a period where, she said and acted like she didn't want me. And so, I accepted it, I swallowed it, and I didn't never talk to any of the ladies physically or nothing, but I stepped back out in the game, I guess. And once she found out, I guess other women was interested in me, I guess she went crazy and ran them off. She ran all of them off.
And I get all that. But don't you worried about, someone who's like looking to light the house on fire. That to me is like, ooh, I don't want to sleep over there with her. None of that ever.
I mean, not really. I don't know. I can handle it.
You the coolest man I have ever met. You just rock solid over there. You still think he has women on the side that are popping up?
yes, I mean,
He claims that they're good friends.
but every time we have a problem within our relationship, somehow I always catch him talking to her.
Do you do that? You still think he has women on the side that are popping up. Is that right?
Kinda, sorta, yes. I mean,
He claims that they're good friends.
that's what he claims. But every
Well,
time
give me your best evidence that they are more than that.
They used to be together.
So this is one particular individual.
Yes.
Do you know who?
The one
about
that
whom we
keep popping
speak?
up.
Oh, yes, I think I know who you talking about, but she never really pops up.
But every time we have a problem within our relationship, somehow I always catch him talking to her.
Do you do that?
I mean, it was a close friend that I could talk to. Like, she probably had called us saying, like, hey, how you doing, or something. Like, I know one time my grandmother died. Like, sorry, your grandmother. Because this was somebody.
That explains one conversation.
I mean, we don't, like,
Thank you.
she's over-exaggerated. We haven't had a bunch of conversations.
Recently, he had.
I mean, even in the past, she
But-
might have called or texted me a couple of times, but nothing inappropriate, or it wasn't like.
But are you
this.
going to her with and I'm not accusing you of doing anything inappropriate.
Yeah.
I'm just asking you, do you go to her with the problems that you're having in your relationship with Ms. Colton over
The
there?
best way I can explain is an old friend that I stopped communicating with because of her, and every now and then you may happen
You hear
to,
from her.
Yeah, and she just seems to catch me every time that I happen to hear from her. But
This so happens. Every
Yeah.
time she calls, she happens to be
I mean,
around.
not even necessarily call it every time. Like, I mean, she could tell you if I'm lying, but we was just saying, hey, how you doing, or bye, whatever, and she would happen to catch it and say she's popping up or something.
Yeah.
But
Is that a real fear? I mean, are you really worried that he's with that woman? I don't think he is.
I mean, that and like the real fear is like our financial problem and like I mean, I trust him
Well,
now.
tell me about the financial problem. What's the issue with the money?
It's just basically I want security, like to make sure, like if I was to get fired from my job, that he'll be able to take.
Well, what is
care.
his current employment situation?
He's an entrepreneur, so.
That's unemployed with ideas. Are you unemployed with ideas?
No, I pay the bills.
You pay the bills?
I get her everything she asked for.
Does he make money?
Yes, he does. Yes.
Does he
And
make
do
decent
pay the
money?
bills. Yes. Yes.
So why are you so worried about economics?
Because of the pay is like a couple years ago we had a miscarriage and it was like he had went into this depression, which I was too, but both of us deal with it separately. And so when he went into this depression, he just stopped everything. Had brought more problems within our relationship, financially and emotionally.
But even during that time, though, I still.
But you say he had a T-shirt business and he wouldn't distribute the flyers and he tried to renovate and sell old houses, couldn't do that. Is it one failure after another, or is he actually bringing home money from these different ventures?
He's actually bringing home money. Like, as far as with the T-shirt thing, it was like, he said he wanted to start it in the flyers. He wanted to start this T-shirt business. And so he saved up his money to get the equipment, and then once you get the equipment,
Do you lose steam after you go to the ramp up of a new entrepreneurial experience? And then
I just happened to take a loss on that one because me and my friend, we had a party event coming up and we needed cash to do something, so I just used it. The weather ended up being bad, so we ended up lost on the party. But I just took a small loss on that.
I'm gonna help you out here, Mr. Coleman. I'm gonna give a small but spirited defense of the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs lose 5 times, hit once. And if you want the big money and the big hit or somebody to do really well, those are going to be the entrepreneurs. The guys that go out there, they take a risk, and if something of his takes off, you're going to be all on it for the ride. But you also have to be on it for the startup. And the startup sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes this doesn't work, sometimes that doesn't work, sometimes the other thing doesn't work, but it's only got to have one thing that works. And then you're good to go. So as long as he's bringing home some money, he's not just blithely going out there, blinging and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think
you gotta back him up. You gotta back his play.
everything he do. I support him. The reason why Quinton is for me because he's caring. You can be mean as ever to him. I could be punched him in the face, did whatever, and he'll still give me whatever I want.
And I can light the house on fire, he gets over it. It's okay.
No, he was mad.
That's what you're telling me. Should you keep sleeping with your partner when you're on a break? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Here's what I'm going to do. This is a before your vows, and I always got to have both sides of the story. Now I know the problems. I want to know the good stuff. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Now, Ms. Colton, listen to me. There are rules to this thing. Let's get this right. I want a 30-second profession of love for this man over here. I don't want any complaints. I don't want any ands, buts, when, maybe. I want you to give me a 30-second sales job on why this man right there is the one for you. Go.
The reason why Quinton is for me because he's caring. You can be mean as ever to him. I could be punched him in the face, did whatever, and he'll still give me whatever I want or take the time out to love me. He's a loving person. I mean, he's just a caring person, and that's the good thing about him. Like, he's a caring person, and I love him, and
Now, Mr. Coleman, that woman just stood over there. I can abuse him and he'll take it.
But
that's basically what she said.
Though.
No, she don't mean that I take it and just sit there. And
I mean, like,
I don't believe you're a punk or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm thinking like,
hold on to the grudge or be mad long about it.
Like I can light the house on fire. He gets over it. It's okay.
No, he was mad.
That's what you're telling me. I bust out the windows. He sweeps it up. It's fine. Is that what you're telling me?
No, I'm not.
Well, tell me something else.
He's a loving person.
He is.
He's a
that
loving
I can say. He's a very loving person.
He stand up for what he believes in, and if he believes in it, he's headstrong in it, and I admire that about him. He's very intelligent, and any question I ask him, he can answer it. And if he don't know the answer to it, he will find it. And he is a good person.
Mrs. Colton, you crazy as they can be, but you get an A+. That was a great profession to love. I'm scared of you. You know, I ain't gonna go nowhere in a room alone with you or anything like that. But that was an A+ profession to love. Mr. Coleman, you got a high hurdle there. Why is Miss Colton the woman for you?
Well, Miss Colton the one for me because, like she said, I love her regardless. Even when I want to hate her, I still love her. And we like two sides of the same coin. We like complete opposites, but we have so much in common. A lot of times when I'm thinking a statement, she'll say it or vice versa. You know, we really, like, we play well off each other and get along. And I don't know, like you said, she's crazy as I can be, but I just love her for some reason, so.
Joe, I do believe this is a first. 2 A+ professions of love right in front of me. Well done, people. I'm gonna look at your compatibility test, then we're gonna talk about what I think y'all ought to do. Which action by your partner would definitely make you leave? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. When I first reviewed your paperwork and your compatibility test and your history and what was going on, I was all prepared to print out a boarding pass for you. To get you on a plane, first thing smoking. But you guys came out here and in some way, shape, or form delighted me. I don't know how you managed it, but you did. You read a little bit like a doormat, but clearly that's not the case. You're just a man so comfortable in his own skin that even the house on fire don't scare you. Whether or not that's security or insanity, I don't know. But I appreciate it for what it is. Ms. Colton, you got a good man over here. And I want you to always remember that. You know, you say you've been abused in the past and that people made fun of you and that you don't let what those bad people said to you and did to you and made you feel about yourself make you so insecure that you have to cause chaos in his life, because he didn't deserve it. He didn't do it. And you always know when you're lighting something on fire or breaking it with a stick, it's those little people that tried to hurt you that are making you do that, and it's not him. So always remember, every time you defeat your temper, every time you conquer your anger, you are defeating those people who chose to treat you badly. So look at it that way. You can't change your past, but you can redefine it. It can be the reason that you're better tomorrow. It could be something that you can stand up on and jump over the moon instead of letting it lean on you. You with me on that? So,
yes,
Mr. Coleman, I'm going to give you this marriage license and ask you to please take this woman, get her in the house, lock the door, and keep her away from us. This matter is adjourned.
I feel good today. Well, we feel good today by getting Judge Lynn blessings on getting married. It's something we was hoping that we'll hear, so now it's confirmed.
Yes, I'm happy today with the judge's decision. She said everything I thought she would probably say. And I'm just glad we can go and get married now.